Welcome to the live demo of my project Groundbnb, and it is created with ReactJS, obviously as mentioned here, and it's pretty obvious to tell by the way the Airbnb and both Airbnb and my website are structured that it should use or probably will use React. Development information, you can all find this in my README. All my sources for my icons, fonts, and logos are here because it's better to source where I get my things from. Obviously, it's not. I tried making it as accurate as I could, but Airbnb has their own font that I couldn't really find, so I found like the best alternative on Google Fonts, and same with their icons. So not everything looks exactly the same, but I tried my best, and I tried adding like a more condensed version on mine. So this is my panel and this is theirs. As you can see, the number of bathrooms, bedrooms, and number of guests that each location can hold is right under the card, which makes it easier. Whereas on Airbnb's website, it tells you more like the location. Like if you're on like the filter, which is for filtering for lakeside properties, it will give you the lake, so on and so forth. But for me, I opted for something more informative where it will just tell the user exactly the information they're looking for instead of having to click and then observe and scroll down and find like how many people can they house. So obviously this was made using React, and the reason I decided to use React for this is because here's Airbnb's website. As you can tell from like the get-go that there's lots of repeated components, which React is really good with doing. Basically, you can just make one of these and then pass different information through props for all of these. And that's kind of what I did for mine, the way I coded this, and same with these up here. They're all kind of pretty straightforward, as in this box component is done making, for my project, I did it using a flex box and made it column, and then I did this row filled with a bunch of boxes inside of it, but made the row flex direction as rows, so now you have a row of things which are directionally downwards. So again, React is really good with breaking things down. So here's my duplicate of Groundbnb. Obviously the fonts aren't the same, nothing is really interactive here because it's front end. I tried going for as close of an aesthetic as I can. I did end up adding like simple hover animations that I'm not sure Airbnb does, but regardless, I felt like it was a good touch. And here's the footer. This is pretty accurate to exactly how Airbnb outlines their footers, but I added some different things like careers and investors. And yeah, this is essentially the whole, website. It's pretty similar to Airbnb's. I wouldn't say it's a direct clone, but I do know Airbnb's website is made using React, so I tried using React as well, and I feel like my product is pretty similar. Obviously can't be exactly the same, but I feel like I definitely did use React in a very similar way as the Airbnb devs did. So all this information is also identical. So if I go to my Bowmanville one here, I literally took the information exactly from here and I put it into mine. So here you can see 367, 488, 367, 488. Here obviously you'd have to click and then it'll take you to how many people can stay, bedrooms and baths, which is condensed here, 259, 925, same thing. So yeah, this is essentially my duplicate of this, and I really did like using React for this, as it's really easy to like break down into different things. Like it's very clean and it's like you're creating a hierarchy, so it's really nice to use React for these component based repetitive websites. Like here you can see I go into a row, and then from a row it's just a function of creating a bunch of boxes, and then in the boxes it's a bunch of CSS for one box, and then so on and so forth. So, and then the same for the nav bar. You go into the nav bar and you realize that you're creating nav icons, then you go into nav icons, and these are every individual tiny icon that is here. So this would be nav icons, this would be nav bar. Same with this would be row, and this would be box. So it's very simple and quick to make lots of like rows and lots of icons with React, as opposed to coding in just pure HTML, which would be a horrendous way to create a website like this. It would be extremely painful, slow, and even if you're using like Bootstrap, which comes and does a lot of the work for you, it would still take substantially longer than if you use React. Overall, I really did enjoy this project, and I'm proud of what I created.